The topic for this lesson is tie-dye production. Tie-dye textile is a resist dye cloth produced and worn primarily by the Yoruba people of the western Nigeria. It is also referred to as adire, which means to dye and dye fabrics. Tie-dye is a process of tying and dyeing a piece of fabric or cloth, usually cotton material. It involves the process of folding material into a pattern and binding it with string or twine before dyeing in a bowl, or pouring directly to the fabric, which is also known as the pouring method of dyeing. We have different methods of dyeing fabrics, and it includes the spiral folding method. We also have the folding method. We also have the pleating method. Another tying technique is the stitching method, where you use needle to stitch the fabric and you dye it. And again, we also have the marbling method. Now let's look at materials used in tie-dye production. We need our bowl, which will be used to mix dye, and we also need a hand glove, which will protect us from the harmful chemicals that are used in the production process. We also need our chemicals, which are hydrosulfide and caustic soda. We need our local dye, which comes in different colors. We need different colors to make our fabrics beautiful. We need strings, which should be used to tie the fabrics into different designs. And lastly, we need our fabric, which should be 100% cotton. Cotton fabrics are used because it easily absorbs dye solution. The first step in making a tie-dye shirt is to use any tying technique. Here, folding technique is used. That is, the shirt is folded in a unique pattern. You can as well use the pleating technique or the stitching technique. You may even decide to combine two tying techniques together. In tie-dye production, always use the right type of fabric. The fabric should be cotton, because cotton fabric easily absorbs dye. After folding the shirt, you use rubber band to hold it firm, because we don't want it to scatter while dyeing it. The next step is to dip the already folded shirt in a bowl of water. This is done for easy penetration of dye solution. So you have to make sure that the shirt is wet before you put into a dye solution. So now the next stage is to mix your dye. Here are three things you need to make your dye solution. You need your caustic soda, you need your hydrosulfide, and you need your color, that is your dye. You mix these three items and then you dip your fabric into the dye solution. What you are seeing now is that a portion of the shirt is being dipped into the dye. This is done to achieve different colors, so you get to dip different sides of the already folded shirt into dye solution of different colors. When dyeing fabric, always protect your hands because the chemicals that are used in dyeing are harmful, so you need to wear hand gloves to protect your hands. After you finish dipping it into different dye solution, you leave it for a while to oxidize. Lastly, you dip it into a bowl of water and then you rinse it thoroughly before removing the rubber band to reveal your design. Make sure you rinse it properly to remove excess dye from the shirt.